Yes, hello and welcome to another vlog from Ben Rider. Today we're testing out the Honda CL500. It's a new bike in the lineup of the 500s from Honda. I will put all the technical specs on the screen for you now. I will not talk too much in the beginning. I will give you the verdict later on. So on the left hand side we have the clutch lever, which is very light. Easy to operate, let's put it this way. It is fairly light, not super light, but definitely very nice for your hands. We have a passing light switch here in the front for your index finger. Also, I like this feature very much. We have high beam, low beam here switch. We have the horn switch here. We have the turn signal switch here. And that is everything on the left hand side. Let's go to the right hand side. We have the throttle here. We have the brake lever for one disc brake. I don't know why there's only one. We have the cutoff switch here. We have the hazard light switch here, and we have the starter switch here. By the way, we have two key holes basically on this bike. On the left hand side we have to put the key in the ignition. On the right hand side we have to put a key in to lock the handlebars. So let's go to the display. The display is, we have light sun conditions here at the moment, not very bright sun, but it is difficult to read. I have to tell you the truth. I know you can adjust it high and low brightness. It's still not very good. I know that from my CB500X it was the same. And here it's even worse because you don't have a little roof or cover or whatever on the display there, and it doesn't shield the sun from the display, so it's very difficult to read, to be honest. On the top we have the clock. On the left hand side we have the gear indicator. To the right we have the speedometer. Underneath we have the multifunction data field. Down below we have the fuel capacity indicator and all the control lights, indicator lights we have down below. We can switch around the data fields to trip A, trip B, the fuel consumption, actual fuel consumption, and average fuel consumption, also the time traveled. You can do all this for trip A and B. So this is the Honda CL500 and we'll take it out for a little spin. Let's go. So the first thing that you notice, I want to start without engine running actually, because I just noticed something which I didn't say in the German video. When you stand, when you have your feet on the ground, there's the foot pegs on the right hand side. And it is a little bit in the way of standing. You know, either you have to put them to the front, but where I usually put my feet, there's the foot peg. So not ideally located, I would say. Now let's start it up. So, we're back on track here with the CL500. As I said, that's the first thing that I noticed with the foot pegs when you get on. The other thing is the seat, of course, that you notice when you get on. It feels a little plush and soft in the beginning when you touch it with your hands, but actually when you sit on it, it's hard again. So not that much comfort there. I don't know how it is on longer rides. Maybe it will be, you know, it's like a little memory foam or something. It will adapt to your butt. I don't know if it will, but that's what I noticed. The other thing is definitely that you notice when you sit on a bike, there's nothing really new and special to it compared to the other lineup, or especially about the Rebel also. The tank looks shaped as the Rebel actually. Maybe it is different, I don't know, but to me it appears like the Rebel tank. The display, I think, is also taken from the Rebel. It's an inverted LCD display, which is fairly bad in the sunlight. If the sun comes from the rear, it is good because it somehow illuminates the digits there. I don't know why and how, but it is not bad. But and under any other lighting conditions, even now we don't have any sun, everything is acceptable, but it's not really bright. And yes, I know, I think you can adjust it a little bit, but that also is not enough. That's about the display. I also complained about this on my test ride of the Rebel, I think. The riding itself, it is a fairly straight upward position, or how would you want to say? You sit straight on the bike. You don't really have to lean forward. I guess it depends on how tall you are and everything. I am 175, and okay, I don't know how long my arms are, but it is definitely not bad, and it is a fairly relaxed riding position. Naturally, it's a naked bike, so you get all the wind from the front. Then riding, yeah, everything, shifting, clutching, everything feels like a Honda. So there's nothing really new or special to it. I think the clutch comes in a little bit earlier than on regular other bikes. Usually it's only on the last millimeters of the clutch travel, but here it kind of starts a little bit earlier, so that is definitely nice. The other thing is, which I have noticed also problems again with gas acceptance. It is kind of jerky, and I have had quite a few bikes recently which have a jerky throttle, which I don't like. You know, it could be kind of dangerous in corners when you go in the second gear, when you go very slowly, maybe 40-50 kilometers, and maybe go in the second gear in the city or so. I just noticed that when I came here, that it is very, very jerky, and you only have 0-1, 0-1, on off, you know. And this is another thing I don't like. I'm sure you could do better, Honda. I don't know why they do it. Other than that, I don't really feel any difference to any other 500 CB in the CB lineup here. They say they have changed this and that, but can you really feel that? Do you really notice it as a rider? To me personally, I don't. I don't know if there's a big difference. Okay, I think it's a little bit lighter than a CB500X or so, but do you really feel a difference to a CB500X? I don't know. This is what I wanted to point out. Nothing really special here on this bike. And when I first heard about it, there's a new product in the lineup. It's always good, you know, so you're all excited. But in the end, it's basic components from Honda, which we already know. The front headlight looks very much like that one from the Rebel. The only difference I would notice on this bike is the exhaust, which looks a bit different and which that makes it stand out as a scrambler maybe. But other than that, There's nothing really new, nothing exciting about this bike to me personally. I also have to say, I tested quite a few Vogue or Vogue, whatever you call them, from the Chinese manufacturer lately. And I also tested a 350 with 41 horsepower. So it's very close to the 48 horsepower they have on this one here. And I don't really notice a big difference, or maybe no difference at all. Maybe only in 5th or 6th gear or so. But other than that, the little 350 is more than enough. And yeah, I just wanted to point that out. If you think, you know, about 500s, or maybe you can actually go a little bit lower, go into the 350 range or so. And maybe that will save you some money as well. I don't have very much to say on this bike. Sometimes I don't have very much to say on bikes. This is one of these which had a fairly big publicity. It came out and oh, it's so wonderful and new, and it's a scrambler from Honda. Oh wow, we're so excited. But to be honest, what is so special about it, you know? I don't know. It doesn't have anything that ticks my boxes, to be honest. If you want to go for a 500 and say, okay, I need a Honda because they are reliable and stuff like that, you might as well do that because you like the design from the outside or so, you know. But other than that, I don't really have anything really other or positive to tell you about this bike, because it acts and feels like a 500 from Honda. As we know, Honda puts in the Chinese engines from Longines. I just wanted to point that out again, because Vogue or Vogue also belongs to the Longines company. So that's about it. That's my test ride of the CL500 from Honda. Thanks very much for watching. This has been a ride out. Take care. Bye-bye.